everybody, today I am in Fort Harrison State Park, and I'm actually along one of the hiking trails here in the forest, and a mountain biker actually just went by me, so there are mountain bike trails too. But in this video, we're gonna talk about this park just a little bit, but also Lawrence, Indiana. So Lawrence is a popular suburb of Indianapolis, way out on the east side. And Lawrence has been popular for especially the last 20 years. It's seen a lot of growth. It's close to 50,000 people in Lawrence proper. It's its own city, and it's a place that provides some really unique features. So we're gonna go through 3 things that make Lawrence so popular and why it's actually exploded in its growth over the past 20 years. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about places like Lawrence, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, any of the surrounding metro and suburbs, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and also tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video each and every week. Now we get calls and texts, reach outs of all kinds from people all over the Indy Metro and all over the country with questions about Indianapolis, all the surrounding areas, places like Lawrence. So if you have questions at all, then make sure you reach out any way you know how, and also reach out when you're about to make your move, because we can make it so much smoother within Indianapolis or to the Indianapolis Metro. All right, so like I said at the beginning, I am in Fort Harrison State Park. And people call it Fort Ben around here, because Fort Harrison, I guess, is a little bit more of a mouthful, but it was named after President Benjamin Harrison, who's actually from Indianapolis. And this park wasn't always a park, it was actually a military base, and it was formed way back in the early 1900s by Teddy Roosevelt. So, and it was appropriately named after Harrison, who was from this particular area. So it does have a long-standing military history from way back in the early 1900s all the way up through Desert Storm. It was decommissioned in the early 90s, but there's still a lot of the military elements still here on the base and in the park. But for the most part, this is a state park in Indiana now, and it's a day park, so there's no camping here. The only overnight spots that you've got are a couple of lodges, like at the golf course. So a few different lodging places, but by the way, that golf course, it's called the Fort. It's one of the top 10 courses in the state of Indiana. It's been ranked that way for quite a long time. It's actually a little older golf course, but it was redesigned recently by Pete Dye. So it's actually got some notoriety here in the Indianapolis area and really throughout the state. I've played golf a lot through my life and have played a lot of places, and across the state of Indiana, the Fort is really one of my favorite places to play. It's so different. It goes through this state park. So this state park, it has one of the largest hardwood forests in the entire state of Indiana, and that's pretty incredible for how, once you get outside of this area, how city or how urban everything is. When you're in here, it just doesn't seem like that at all. So the topography is rolling, it's pretty hilly, and just very forested. So the golf course is beautiful and the whole park is beautiful, but it's a day park. So you can come here and spend the entire day. They've got a playground, they have picnic areas, of course, and all of these different trails running through the entire forest. Also fishing, horseback riding, you can even have a horse rental. Incredible with the number of things to do. So anyway, this is in Lawrence, Indiana, and it's definitely one of the biggest perks of living in Lawrence. And you don't have to live in Lawrence, of course, to enjoy any state park in the state of Indiana. You can come from anywhere. I don't personally live in Lawrence, but here I am today. Now I just pay for your day pass. You can also buy a yearly pass to any of the state parks in the entire state of Indiana and get in whenever you want. So 3 things that really make Lawrence a popular place, and the last one is the thing that really makes it the most popular, no doubt, because not everybody enjoys a state park. You know, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's an outdoors person, but that would be a big draw for this place if you're living in Lawrence, because if you live in a place like Lawrence is compared a lot to some of the other suburbs that are nearby like Fishers and Carmel, Noblesville, out of those very, very popular suburbs, or even Westfield to the north, this one has the most to offer as far as the outdoors is concerned. I'd say Noblesville probably comes in second. In Lawrence, that would really be a huge draw. Number one, just having this state park here. Number two is that you can live in Lawrence and still live in the Geiss District, or very close to Geist Reservoir. So Geist Reservoir is this huge reservoir on the northeast side of Indianapolis, and it's a big draw for people who like to fish and boat and ski and jet ski, or just be on the water. Well, Lawrence takes up a good portion of that south and southeast part of Geist. So you can actually live on the water and still live in the Lawrence vicinity. Or you can be off of the water, just kind of in that particular area, and you're still living in Lawrence. So that is a hugely popular place, the Geiss District, not just because of the water. You can live, like I said, just around the entire reservoir, and Fishers takes up part of it, McCordsville takes up part of it, and it's huge. So there are a lot of options there, but the topography around Geiss Reservoir is beautiful. It's rolling, it's very residential, it's just really pretty and shaded, wooded. It's just not really like what most people across the country think of when they think about the state of Indiana. Most of the time you think about the state of Indiana, just like a lot of other Midwest states, you think bean fields and cornfields and all these open spaces, and it's not always that way. So the Geiss District is one of those really great places that has, sorry, I'm walking up this hill here, this mountain bike trail. Actually, it's definitely a little bit hilly. It's hard to tell on the camera though. It's one of those places where you can get that sort of topography. So that'd certainly be number two, just what it feels like to live in Lawrence. A lot of Lawrence is very similar to what I'm walking through here right now, although not quite as densely wooded because you have to have houses and streets and things like that, but lots of big old trees and a great feel. So number three, why Lawrence is a popular place to live and why the population here has exploded over the past 20 years or so. The growth hasn't been quite as fast as some of the other northern suburbs, but we're close to 50,000 people here in Lawrence now, and 20 years ago there's roughly half that. So that's definitely some growth. So if you want to live on the east side in an area like this, you can live out in East Fishers, which is kind of has this feel too. It's very residential, lots and lots of trees, very established type of feel, even though it is relatively new. When you get out to the fringe of East Fishers, it doesn't feel like that. It feels very new, not a lot of trees. Houses are certainly put onto a lot of different farms, but Lawrence is more established, got that feel, so you might want that. Plus the schools here are actually pretty popular as well. You've got Lawrence North High School and Lawrence Central High School. They both have in the A's on niche.com as far as their rating is concerned. Their diversity is certainly a whole lot higher than what you're going to find in some of the eastern suburbs. So that's also a draw for a lot of people. But if you want to live on the east side and Fishers, you're looking at a home there, let's say 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and you can't spend $350,000. That's beyond your budget. Well, Lawrence could be an option for you. The housing in Lawrence is absolutely noticeably more affordable than what it is in Fishers or any of the other northern suburbs. And if you live in Lawrence, you're really close to Fishers. In fact, you're close to Fishers, you're right next door to Indianapolis. Actually, in fact, if you live in most of Lawrence, you're going to have an Indianapolis address. So, you live in Lawrence, you could still kind of think, well, I do live in Indianapolis. But you'll go to those Lawrence schools, and some of your utilities would be through Lawrence, and you'll just have the feel of Lawrence. So, affordability, now I'm crossing a dry creek here. Affordability is huge. We've worked with lots of people in the past that just didn't want to spend all that money getting into a place like Fishers, and Lawrence ended up being a fantastic option for them for that particular reason. So there's lots to offer here in Lawrence. Those are just 3 big things that people think about quite often when they're looking at Lawrence, with of course that affordability being a huge one. So if you have questions about Lawrence at all, then make sure that you reach out any way you know how. And until the next one, we'll see you later.